So here you can see an A form. You can see with my fingers bunched up pretty much as tight as I can get them that I'm just about fretting the A string and the high E string. If there's any play, if I don't hit them exactly straight on the top, it almost always mute. Now here you can see on the Big Lou that that same form gives me a little bit of room. Now I'm top dead center here. If I want to get a little bit lazy, it's still not going to fret very easily. It will, you still have to have good form, but it's just a whole lot easier. You can see here that my fingers are touching both frets. Not a lot we can do about that, just because of the scale, but it's the width in between is what I had problems with. Okay, on the Big Lou, it's more or less the same as I go up the fretboard, just because of the width of the frets. But I do have more room, and it's much easier to get it into this shape in these smaller areas. Now this form isn't as bad as the A form. However, it's commonly muting. Again, this gets worse as I go up the fretboard. Here, once again, on the D shape, we can see on the Big Lou that I've got room. I'm not about to touch strings around me unless they get really sloppy. So if I keep pretty good form and come fairly straight down on them, I don't have to worry about the fretting nearly as bad. All right, now here's the size of my hand. There's really no way I can show you how big this is. But we're going to compare it to the hands that are going to play a little clip for us. And if you watch that clip, you may be able to just see how much more room he's going to have on the Big Lou versus me. All right, I don't really know how to give you an idea just how big my hand is, so we're going to stick a tape measure on it. Here you can see an almost 10-inch spread on my hand from pinky to thumb. Then we're going to measure my index finger, and that's roughly 7/8 of an inch or so. Okay, now here we're going to see another hand that's about 9 inches total across. The thickness of this finger is about 5/8, maybe between 5/8 and 3/4. Okay, as I told you earlier, I'm just a beginner at the guitar. There's no way that I can play something that's going to give you an idea of what this guitar really sounds like. So we're going to have my brother do it. He's been playing guitar for a number of years. His hands are smaller than mine, as you've seen in the earlier shots. So if you watch close, you might be able to gather a little information in terms of how much room he has on the fretboard with his fingers. And if you've got maybe average sized fingers like his, or maybe big mitts like my own, you can get an idea of just how much room there really is on a 1 7/8 inch neck. I'm going to be restringing this guitar with some 10 to 46 regular slinkies. All right, so after putting on the Ernie Ball, 10 to 46 regular slinkies, and playing for roughly 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, what we notice is that the buzz is almost completely gone. On string A, there's just a little bit on fret 2. I did no truss rod adjustments whatsoever. Now the nut, the strings are definitely just a tiny bit too big for this nut. The strings that were on it were just a little bit too small. Maybe just a little bit of a file work in the nut would bring that around, but it seems to be actually pretty good. I have no complaints with it. I didn't know whether or not these heavier strings would cause the springs in the trim to be a little tight and cause the trim to come off of the body. I haven't seen any of that whatsoever. Matter of fact, it's perfectly flat. Strings have stretched plenty, so we're going to play it now. We're going to use the same hardware, same song, same everything pretty much, and we'll see if there's an audible difference in the strings. All right, so that concludes our review. Again, we've been reviewing the Big Lou Cobra series 1 7/8 inch wide neck guitar. Personally, I love the width of this fretboard. I absolutely love it. As for the rest of the guitar, for me it works great. For you, hopefully we've given you enough information you can decide that from our review.